Welcome to Couples Parlor, where we bring romantic relationship stories to life. Join us as we explore the many different kinds and facets of romantic relationships, the joys and struggles that comes with them. I am Kelvin. In this video, I will be narrating the story of Nate, who had been away on a business trip for several days and was looking forward to coming home to his loving wife. As he walked through the door, he noticed that something was different. It was quiet, too quiet. He called out for his wife but received no answer. That's when he noticed the bedroom door was slightly ajar. With a sense of unease, Nate slowly pushed the door open and saw his wife, Allison, and her best friend, Samantha, on their matrimonial bed, using sex toys to pleasure each other. Shocked and angry, Nate couldn't believe what he was seeing. Allison and Samantha quickly scrambled to cover themselves, but the damage had been done. Nate was furious and hurt. He had trusted his wife completely, and she had betrayed him in the worst way possible. He demanded an explanation, but Allison was at a loss for words. Samantha tried to justify their actions, saying they were just having fun and didn't mean to hurt anyone. But Nate wasn't buying it. He felt like his entire world had been turned upside down. After a heated argument, Nate decided that he needed time to process what he had seen. He packed a bag and left the house, leaving Allison and Samantha alone to deal with the aftermath of their actions. Over the next few days, Nate struggled to come to terms with what had happened. He loved his wife, but he couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal. Eventually, he decided to confront Allison and try to work things out. They sat down and had a long conversation about what had happened. Allison apologized profusely and promised that it would never happen again. Nate decided to give her another chance, but things were never quite the same between them. The trust had been broken, and it would take time to rebuild. If this is your first time watching any of our videos, we thank you for watching. Please help us support this channel by liking and sharing the video with your family and friends. Also subscribe to our channel and click the bell button, so you can be notified when a new video is posted. Nate and Allison were able to work through their problems and strengthen their relationship. They learned to communicate better and became more open with each other. But the memory of that fateful day never completely faded away, a reminder that trust, once broken, is not easily repaired. Nate tried his best to move past the betrayal and rebuild the trust that had been broken between him and Allison. They went to couples therapy and tried to communicate better, but things were never quite the same. Nate found himself constantly questioning Allison's actions and motives, and Allison felt suffocated by Nate's lack of trust in her. They tried to ignore the underlying tension between them and pretend that everything was okay, but it was clear that their relationship had been irreparably damaged. As time went on, Nate began to withdraw emotionally from Allison. He stopped confiding in her and started keeping secrets. Allison, sensing the distance growing between them, tried to make things right by being more attentive and loving, but it was too late. One day, after months of feeling disconnected from each other, Nate and Allison had a huge argument. They both said things they didn't mean and ended up hurting each other even more. That was the breaking point. Nate realized that he could never fully trust Allison again, and Allison felt like she could never do enough to make up for what she had done. They decided to get a divorce. It was a painful and emotional process, but in the end, they both knew it was for the best. They had grown apart and couldn't find their way back to each other. The betrayal by Allison had changed the course of their relationship, and they were both unable to move past it. Looking back, they both wished they had been more honest with each other from the beginning. They had tried to pretend that everything was fine, but in reality, they were both hurting and struggling to trust each other. In the end, they learned that trust is the foundation of any successful relationship, and once it's broken, it's hard to repair. They both moved on with their lives, but the memory of their failed marriage remained a painful reminder of what could have been if they had been more honest with each other from the start. This story highlights several important lessons that can be learned from Nate and Allison's experience. 1. Communication is key. Nate and Allison struggled to communicate effectively with each other. They both had issues that they were afraid to bring up, and as a result, their problems festered and grew. It's important to be open and honest with your partner and to work through issues as they arise. 2. Trust is essential. Trust is the foundation of any successful relationship. Once it's broken, it can be difficult to repair. Nate and Allison tried to move past the betrayal, but ultimately, they were unable to fully trust each other again. 3. Pretending to be fine won't solve the problem. Nate and Allison both tried to ignore the tension and pretend that everything was okay. But this only made things worse. It's important to address problems in a relationship head-on and not to pretend that everything is fine when it's not. 4. Forgiveness is important. Forgiveness is an essential part of healing. Nate and Allison both needed to forgive each other in order to move forward, but they were unable to do so. It's important to learn how to forgive your partner and move past any hurt that may have been caused. 5. Sometimes, relationships just don't work out. Despite their best efforts, Nate and Allison were unable to salvage their relationship. It's important to recognize when a relationship isn't working and to be honest with yourself and your partner about it. Sometimes, the best thing to do is to move on and start fresh. Please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. Like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date with more relationship stories like this one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.